Hillary Clinton went on CBS Morning to talk about her new book, Something Lost, Something Gained: Reflections on Life, Love, and Liberty. But naturally, if you interview Hillary, it's impossible to avoid the topic that ruins everyone's Thanksgiving: Donald Trump and her electoral loss to him. Syndicated talk radio host Stephanie Miller never fails to say, "I'm going to die angry if you bring up the subject of Hillary's electoral loss to Trump." And Hillary's not too far behind her. Take a listen.
Since 2016, people have asked me, will you ever be able to move on? Move on, I wish.
We're going to take a look at Clinton taking down the orange blob in a manner that can only be described as dancing on his grave. But first, let's take a quick listen to one of Hillary's classic takedowns on the debate stage.
Putin, from everything I see, has no respect for this person.
Well, that's because he'd rather have a puppet as president of the United States.
No puppet.
Clinton also talked about debating Trump and zinged him again.
Hard because I had to be responding on the debate stage, but then I had to be thinking, now, do I respond to that? He's trying to bait you.
Everything's broken about it, everything.
You know, it's like that old saying, if you wrestle with a pig in the mud, only the pig comes out happy.
But far from living in the past and mourning over her electoral loss, Hillary is still out there using her intelligence, her sense of humor, and her undeniable presence to push back against another Trump presidency and the MAGA movement which fuels it. She spoke at the DNC convention precisely to give a boost to the Harris campaign and motivate people to go out there and right a historical wrong.
Let's send Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to the White House.
Hillary Clinton says she was there this time to officially pass the torch to Kamala Harris.
That was sort of the unspoken through line, that I had been there and now it was generational. This moment required it, and I wanted to give her the best send-off I could.
A little emotional?
Oh, it was so emotional.
On the other side of that glass ceiling is Kamala Harris raising her hand and taking the oath of office as our 47th president of the United States.
So far from being bitter, Clinton is honest about how she feels about the convicted felon and adjudicated rapist.
I got tears in my eyes then, because this man has escaped accountability his entire life. The case, which was mistakenly called a hush money case, was an election interference case. Why did he do what he did? He did it to try to keep the information from the American public so that they wouldn't turn away from him and vote for me. So it's a pretty clear case of election interference.
And that's what leads her to another classic Clinton takedown.
When you heard that he had been convicted, there had to be, you're human, there had to be a side of you after enduring months of hearing lock her up, thinking,
right.
This is the person who's actually facing time in jail.
Looks like karma to me.
The amazing thing about Clinton using the karma reference is that we all know that karma is a biatch. And that's what Trump has become to Harris. He loves to moan and complain and talk about how the whole world is lined up against him, but the fact of the matter is, he just can't stand being beaten by a black woman. And as a result, Kamala is getting under his skin and completely throwing him off his game, like with this handshake. Watch Hillary and then watch Kamala undo him.
And the debate that took place this past week
Kamala Harris.
between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump.
In Clinton's perspective, that's happening because of legacy.
Shirley Chisholm, the first black woman elected to Congress, was also the first woman to run for the Democratic presidential nomination, 36 years before Clinton.
I stand on the shoulders and have passed on the baton to the next generation, just as Shirley did. And so when I see this exhibit about her, I think she did her part. She really did.
So things are coming full circle for Trump. A black woman passed the baton to a white woman, who in turn has passed it on to another black woman. And that black woman, Kamala Harris, is going to bury Trump. And all of us are going to love watching Hillary dance on his grave, especially Stephanie Miller. I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats.